Welcome to part 8 of our tutorial series. Today we will be discussing data views. What is a data view? A data view is simply a query definition that produces a data set as a result. This result can be used in a few places in Collate. For example, it can be a source for a chart, an edit grid, or a drop-down. To add a data view, click on the Add button and click Data View. Give your data view descriptive name. Once in edit mode, you'll see the data view composer has three main areas: the canvas area, the properties pane, as well as the left navigation pane. We also have a few tabs, the first tab being the data objects. These objects are basically the forms that you generated or created manually. We also have transforms to manipulate your data. We have a SQL join to join two tables, an extract to add filters, an aggregation transform to do aggregations such as sum, min, max and average. We have an append transform to append data to an existing source, as well as an exclude to remove data. We also have a handy Rss transform. This transform transforms your data from a normal dataset into an RSS feed. This RSS feed can be used in any third-party application that supports RSS or atom feeds. We also have a parameters tab. This will be discussed in a bit more detail in later tutorials. We also have a transform execution order. This will manipulate the order in which the transform is executed, as well as system views tab. This tab will be populated depending on your Collate installation type. Let's create our first data view. We simply click on the sales application form and drop it inside the canvas. To see the data inside our table, simply click on it and some data will be loaded. This is handy to see if we actually have some data, and we can also see the columns that we can use in building our query. Let's add an extract transform. Once a transform is added, we can see that we have a placeholder area as well as a result area. From looking at this transform, we can see that this transform expects one input and produces one output. To connect our data to the transform, click and drag. To set properties on the extract, click on the extract icon and we will be presented with two areas. The left side will be the left input, for example sales application, and the right side will be the temp 01 table. To move columns from the left to the right, simply click on the column and drop. Let's move some columns over to the temp table. Once moved across, we can run this view by clicking on any output of any transform. For example, let's click on temp 01. Here we can see that the transform executes and the data is brought back to us. We can also manipulate the column order by simply clicking, dragging and dropping in place. So now we can see the price moved to the back of the table. We can also sort, build expressions that we can see a bit later, as well as remove columns. Let's sort this column descending and we can see the result. We can also add a custom column. For example, click on the Add button, double click to rename, we can click on the expression button, and here we can build up an expression from columns, functions, as well as any parameters that we have. Let's do a simple calculation by taking the price and multiplying by 1.25. This column is not mapped, so we won't see an arrow from the left to the right. Once clicking on the output, we'll see that our calculation is working. To add another transform, simply click on the left hand side and drag and drop another transform. If the space is a bit cluttered, you can simply move this a bit down, as well as right click and hold to manipulate the entire canvas. Let's add this temp as an input of the SQL join, and we can see that we need another input. So let's add the salesperson. We can add the salesperson inside the SQL join second placeholder, and now we can manipulate the properties of the SQL join. You'll see that we have two tables now on the left hand side, temp1 and salesperson. Let's move all the columns over, and let's add branch from the second table. We need to complete this transform by clicking on the join settings, so let's join on salesperson and run, and we can see that our data view is running and everything seems to be working. A good way to debug your view is to simply click on these outputs, and you'll notice if there's a problem, and you can fix it in the transform preceding the output. At this stage we can click save. We can run this by double clicking and viewing the data. And that is a basic introduction to data views. Thank you for watching.